So the ZUMA-1 is the first multicenter trial with anti-CD19 CAR T-cell therapy called KTEC19 in patients with refractory aggressive B-cell non-Hodgkin lymphoma. So this trial tested a product called KTEC19, which is basically genetically engineered T-cells that are trained to recognize CD19 on the surface of the tumor cells. So what we are reporting is the pre-specified interim analysis for the primary endpoint for overall response rate. So what we found is in the 51 patients with diffuse large B-cell lymphoma, we found the best overall response rate was 76%, and the best complete response rate was 47%. So this complete response rate is nearly six times higher than historical complete response rates that are observed with existing therapies. So the study met its primary endpoint at this interim analysis with a p-value of 0.0001 when analyzed for the primary endpoint of overall response rate. With respect to adverse events, we saw two common adverse events. One is the cytokine release syndrome, which typically manifests as fever and body aches. A few patients might develop drop in the blood pressure or might develop shortness of breath. We also found some patients may develop neurological events, typically confusion, delirium, or sometimes inability to speak or aphasia. But the majority of the side effects that we noticed are grade 1 to grade 2 events. 13% of the patients had grade 3 or higher cytokine release syndrome, and 29% of the patients had grade 3 or higher neurological events. But these side effects were quite manageable. In fact, we developed treatment algorithms for management of these side effects with either supportive care or with the use of tocilizumab and corticosteroids as needed. And we were able to successfully implement the management of these adverse events across 22 different sites where the study was conducted. So this particular study was done in patients that were refractory to all standard therapies and patients that had either diffuse large B-cell lymphoma, transformed follicular lymphoma, or primary mediastinal B-cell lymphoma. So in this refractory patient population that have no currently available therapies, this treatment was able to induce very high response rates, most of which were quite durable. In fact, at the 3-month time point when we assessed in these patients, 39% of the patients still remained in complete remission. So I'd like to also mention that this product could be manufactured for 99% of the patients. In fact, of the 111 patients that were enrolled and underwent leukapheresis on this trial, the product could not be made only for one patient. 110 patients, the product could be manufactured. In addition, the product could be manufactured with a very short turnaround time from the time of leukapheresis of only 17 days. So that I think is quite significant, especially in these patients that have very highly aggressive B-cell non-Hodgkin lymphoma that have very rapidly growing disease.